right, here we are in Premiere Rush. We are going to put our intro together just to show you, and it's going to be the exact same for the outro, so I don't have an outro video, but it'll be the exact same thing. So we have an audio file, and we have two audio files, excuse me. All right, from desktop, I put both these files in here, so I have my voice and then royalty-free music that I select here. So I'm going to select both of those, and we're going to go to Create. And what I generally like to do is I like to put these on separate layers. I would like to move the intro voice over a little bit just so the music can actually start playing. So depending upon where you want the music to start playing, and we can hit the space bar and listen. All right, nice little intro music here. This is great. All right, so I'm going to actually cut it right here. So we will use the cut button. I'm going to take this part, I'm going to move that out. Boom, come over here. I want the background music to play just a little bit before I get into until my voice starts coming in.
All right, guys.
Artlist.io.
So I don't like that at all. So I'm going to cut after that. That's a good example. We go clip, and we need to be able to split, but I want to split this one right here, right about there. So we'll cut it, boom. Now let's see how it sounds.
All right, guys. Here is what I would call the intro. This is going to play.
And let's see if I can expand that audio. I'm going to take this down to here so it plays just a little bit after it as well. Scoot these files over here. I can always trim it just a little bit.
All right, guys. Here is.
Okay, so there you hear my voice starting right there, which is awesome. I need to turn up that clip volume, so I'm just going to double click on that, and I'm actually going to need to turn this down a little bit. I think the background music is just a little too high.
And then we'll cut and put your content right after this, okay? All right, here we go.
So it actually even sounds like I should have spoken a little bit louder on my intro, and you can always re-record that.
All right, guys, here is what I would call the intro. This is going to play before your podcast actually starts. You're going to tell us.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe a little bit louder there.
Before your podcast actually starts, you're going to
Yeah,
tell us the name
that's
of the
pretty good right
podcast.
there. Okay, so there you go. There's your intro. We messed with clip volumes. Remember, it's just like two different layers. If you worked in Photoshop, it's very similar to that. One layer is on top of the other layer, but we can turn down the volume on each. We want to start the music just a little bit before our voice, and then we'll play it into, and then we will go ahead and if you have all of the files in here, like if I had my actual podcast, I would drop my podcast in following right after this, and I'd stop the music, then we listen to the podcast, then I put in the outro. But I also like to just have a pre-recorded intro and a pre-recorded outro. So for episode 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, you guys can just plug and play those. So you'll just have to record. If you want to create your own intro for each one, that is great. But how we're just going to finalize this, always make sure your name in your files. It just makes life easier. So this is pod 1 intro. And then I will hit export. Oh, it's going to documents. I don't want it to documents, so I will tell it where to go. And I just have a pod 1 folder on my desktop, so I'm going to put it in there. And that's where I'd like it, and I'm going to export, and it's going to be in my pod 1 folder, and that'll be my intro. I'll do the same thing for the outro, and then I'll show you an example of putting all three of these together once we have that. Okay, all right, go get them.